Now, if you were to tell me, if you were to tell me in general, that a current NBA player would have the greatest documented game in NBA history. That's not a joke when I say that. The greatest documented NBA game, better than Kobe's. Wilt's, obviously, you can try to find footage. Maybe you can find like a clip, possibly somewhere. You can't find the full game. What Bam just did yesterday was the greatest NBA performance ever. But also on the same hand, I've never seen, or if you were to tell me that an NBA player would drop a monumental record like this in NBA history, cement himself up with the greatest of all time, and have the greatest NBA performance ever documented, and you were to tell me that that would also be met with the most disrespect that I've seen, not only from the community online, from fans, but from other NBA players. It's a strange thing, and it's a crazy juxtaposition to where you can have a talented player such as Bam Adebayo, who just did the greatest thing in his NBA career, but also it could be one of the worst things that he did for his NBA career, because the conversations that Bam's going to be put in now for the foreseeing future is, well, someone that beat Kobe's 81 points, someone who dropped the greatest NBA game documented. Why hasn't he done this? Why hasn't he achieved this? Why, if he did this, why hasn't he done that? That's the conversation that we're going to be seeing for the future. And I don't think those conversations are valid, and I don't think that the disrespect is valid. I don't think calling somebody out of his name is valid, and these are the type of things that we're going to be going into. Bam has been one of my favorite players. This is well known. And I don't think anybody expected him to literally drop 83 points. And I think Giannis said it perfectly.
83, incredible. Speaks volumes in his hard work. I haven't seen the game. I have to watch the game and see.
36 of 43 from the line.
Free throws?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you get it. All that matters that you got it. Like in 10, 20, 30 years from now, nobody's going to remember how many free throws he shot. I don't think I remember how many shots Kobe shot or how many free throws he made or threes. All you remember is 81. Wilt, 100.
83 points is 83 points. Duh, he's going to have a high amount of free throws. How else do you think he got to the things? We're going to be getting into clear cases of disrespect that an all-time legend like Bam, who is a future Hall of Famer, does not deserve. So Gordon Hayward, who is a former NBA player, you guys know him, has said Bam Adebayo scoring 83 isn't great for the league and doesn't feel legitimate.
This record, I think it just is. I don't think it's great for the league. I think it kind of highlights how they're already struggling with. It kind of feels like a pickup game when you're watching. For him to shoot 43 free throws and 22 threes when that's not what he does, it almost like, and again, like the Wizards too, for them to, like with all these teams tanking, it kind of makes it feel not legit.
So let me get this straight. Is the logic a current NBA player dropping 83 points in a basketball game is not great for the league? How? Not only is this going to make people want to start watching Heat games, this is going to make players follow Bam Adebayo. This is boosting their viewership. How is anything about this not good for the league? It feels like a pickup game. And then you look at plays in the game where Bam dropped 83 and he's literally being, well, I guess triple teamed at the end of the game, but you look at a lot of the fouls, these are all legitimate calls. And it feels so disrespectful. When Luka Doncic dropped 72 points, Because I'm trying to think of a recent NBA player that kind of got close to that. 72, I think, was the last time that we saw an NBA player kind of almost reach these heights. Where was this pushback when Luka dropped 72? Do you think, honestly, and I need people to be honest, do you think if Luka dropped 83 points like Bam, do you think he would be even hearing an inch of the same criticism that Bam's receiving? Kelly Oubre on Bam's 83-point performance.
Number, but and shout out to Bam, right? You know, he's just implemented himself in history, and I'm kind of salty that he bested Kobe. It's one of my favorite players for sure.
You know what's like the most backhanded thing? Like, people have to clarify before they disrespect you. And I hope Bam is keeping a note of all this, because this is fake love. This is fake love. When people and dudes clarify, like, you know, shout out to this person before they disrespect you, bro. Like, this is the most passive aggressive slimy thing that you could ever say, bro. Shout out to Bam, you know, everybody knows he's a great player, but this is all you have to say. Congrats. Congratulations, Bam. Why do you have to add like a prerequisite? Why do you have to add something before the congratulations? Now you have people's real colors coming out, disrespecting somebody who just did that. And this is human nature. Now people's egos are coming out. Now you're going to see a lot of envy, to be honest. Here's a clip of a streamer. His name is Lacey. He's a streamer. I saw this clip. I thought it would be important to share because notice how in the beginning of the video I said not just fans, but NBA players as well. Well, this is an example of a fan who was on live stream, and he said this about Bam.
It's fouled like they're losing the game.
It's a spit in the face of the greatest player of all time, and that's what it is. And it's sad, it's disrespectful, and Bam Adebayo is a bitch for it. I don't care.
Yeah, so just straight up, you know, doesn't have to do with the game at all, but just call Bam out of his name. Probably the most disrespectful thing that you can say to a man. Call him out of his name. And, you know, you can tell he would never say this to his face, which is why the internet is such a beautiful but destructive thing at the same time, because a lot of people feel like they're at a point in life, you know, that they can say these things. And, you know, I have no gripe with this guy, but, you know, it's a shame people feel so confident sitting in their house, privileged, and they can say these things about another human being, but would never dare to do it to their face. And this is somebody that's never faced like repercussions for his actions before. That's literally the most disrespectful thing that you can say to somebody.
I'm saying I don't care. That's the truth.
No, I agree. I'm with you.
And I agree. Look at his friend. I agree. Bam Adebayo is a B because he passed my favorite NBA player. Yeah, nothing much more to be said about that. And his friends are just laughing. And I want you guys to notice, this doesn't even have to do with basketball. But what happens is when you surround yourself with people, all of these two guys are just as bad as him. Because what happens in friendships, you surround yourself with people that are kind of like-minded to you, and you guys kind of almost become like one. You guys share like similar jokes, personalities, humor, this. None of his boys said, yo, that's a little too far. They're laughing along. They're just as bad as he is. Bam Adebayo, you solidified yourself in history. You're an amazing player. You're already one of my favorite players. Up there with Kawhi, because I just love the two-way build. I love forwards and big guys that can play like point guards and guards, but they can also play like centers, and they have the two-way game, defense and offense. So literally it was Bam and Kawhi. Those were my favorite players. And bro, I just want to say congratulations, brother. You solidified yourself in history, and you should be proud of yourself.